The following is a list of Saturday Night Live cast members, past and present. The cast members of Saturday Night Live were originally referred to as the Not Ready for Primetime Players. List of all cast members. As of March 2014, the show has featured 139 cast members. The list below includes both repertory and featured players, but omits SNL writers and others who were not listed as cast members during the show's credits. The dates given are those of the years they were part of the cast. Also noted on the chart is whether the cast member ever served as an episode's host, appeared as the anchor person of the Weekend Update segment, or has been the subject of their own Best of Home video collection. Many of the cast members were writers as well. Timeline of cast members. Lighter colors denote featured players, versus repertory cast members. Family connections. Some cast members are related to former staff of the show. One example is Jim Belushi, who is the younger brother of cast member John Belushi. Before that, Bill Murray's older brother, Brian Doyle Murray, was a writer and cast member. When Dan Aykroyd left the show in 1979, he was replaced by a series of short-lived featured players, one of whom was his brother Peter Aykroyd. Short-lived featured player Matthew Lawrence is the identical twin brother of 1977–1980 SNL associate director and bit player Mitchell Lawrence. Longtime writer and sometime performer Jim Downey is former cast member Robert Downey, Jr.'s uncle. Former SNL cast member Abby Elliott is the daughter of former cast member Chris Elliott. Former featured player Paul Britton is the nephew to Bob Newhart, who hosted the show in the 70s. Cast member Jason Sudeikis is the nephew of semi-frequent 90s host George Wendt, who portrayed Norm on the television show, Cheers. Other staff are related by marriage. For instance, cast member Gilda Radner was briefly married to G. E. Smith, who later became the show's band leader. Michael Adenoghi was married to SNL band pianist Cheryl Hardwick. Cast members Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Brad Hall were married in 1987. Former cast member and head writer Tina Fey is married to former show composer Jeff Richmond. Notable tenures. The following is a list of the cast members with the longest tenures, who have spent at least 8 seasons on the show. The following is a list of the former cast members who have had the shortest tenures, spending less than a full 20-episode season on the show. Youngest cast members. The following is a list of the youngest people to join the show. Oldest cast members. The following is a list of the oldest people to join the show. Darrell Hammond is the oldest cast member, who left at 53 years old during his final season on the show. Both cast and hosts. As of May 2014, there have been 30 performers who have hosted SNL who, at one point in their careers, were either a repertory or featured member of the SNL cast. The following performers have hosted SNL either before, during, or after their tenure as a member of the SNL cast. President of the United States Impressionists. Impersonating the incumbent President of the United States is considered about as high of an honor that can be bestowed upon a cast member. The following is a list of people who have impersonated the sitting president. Darrell Hammond had the longest tenure as a president impersonator, with Bill Clinton from 1995–2001 and time as George W. Bush during 2003. Hammond also impersonated Ronald Reagan in an 2009 episode hosted by Neil Patrick Harris. Michael McKean portrayed Bill Clinton during a brief period after Phil Hartman's departure. There was also a sketch featuring Chris Farley, David Spade, Chris Elliott, Adam Sandler, and Tim Meadows auditioning for the role of Clinton. There was also a gag in a 2001 sketch with Tracy Morgan filling in for Will Ferrell as George W. Bush. Deceased former cast members. Although SNL is best known as the launchpad for many successful careers, 8 former cast members have died prematurely. This has given rise to a superstition known as the Saturday Night Live curse. John Belushi and Chris Farley died of a drug overdose at the age of 33 from a spitball an injection of cocaine and heroin. Belushi's death led to the conviction of Kathy Smith for administering the fatal injection. Nearly 4 years before Belushi's death, SNL aired a short sketch titled Don't Look Back in Anger featuring an elderly Belushi as the last living of the not ready for primetime cast members. Farley's death occurred nearly 2 months after he came back to host SNL, which turned out to be his final television appearance. "Yep, they all thought I'd be the first to go. I was one of those live fast, die young, leave a good-looking corpse types, you know?" Gilda Radner died on May 20, 1989 from ovarian cancer. Radner was originally scheduled to host the season 13 finale, a first for a former female cast member. However, SNL was cancelled due to a Writers Guild of America strike. Radner's health worsened the following year. Moments before the season 14 finale, news came of Radner's death. Steve Martin delivered his visibly shaken monologue, followed by the sketch called Dancing in the Dark that he and Radner has performed on an episode he hosted in 1978, and a musical tribute to Radner performed by her ex-husband, G. E. Smith, and the SNL band. Denitra Vance died on August 21, 1994, after her breast cancer was put in remission 3 years earlier. Michael Adenuga died on November 8, 1994 of a cerebral hemorrhage after suffering from severe chronic migraine headaches for most of his life. Bill Murray honored Adenuga's memory in an appearance on the season 20 episode by replaying Adenuga's sketch, Mr. Mike's Least Loved Bedtime Stories, The Soiled Kimono from December 1977. Phil Hartman was killed by his wife on May 28, 1998 while he slept in his Encino, California home. Before committing the act, Bryn had allegedly consumed a combination of cocaine, alcohol, and the antidepressant drug Zoloft, and later killed herself. Charles Rocket was found dead on October 7, 2005 in his Canterbury, Connecticut backyard. Local police concluded that his death was a suicide. Rocket had allegedly taken his own life by slashing his throat with a box cutter. Tom Davis died on July 19, 2012, after suffering throat and neck cancer during the final 3 years of his life. See also, Saturday Night Live Band, List of Saturday Night Live guests, List of Saturday Night Live writers, references.